The Panos Skordi Encounter.
Hey, this is Panos here with you today. And today I want to tackle some questions I've been asked by students that are about to start a degree program in actuarial science, or have just started a degree program in actuarial science. And this is the advice I would have given myself when I was at that stage. I would ask them to envisage where they want to be at the end of the program, when they finish their degree, where they would like to be. And what I would advise myself is, by the time you finish your degree, is to have at least 2 professional exam passes under your belt. So whether that's P and FM, they're probably the most likely ones, whether you get them, whether you take them professionally, or whether you're at a center of actuarial excellence where you can get exam FM through the university earned credit system. It's something that you'd have to look at. But I would definitely recommend that students have passed at least 2 professional exams. 3 is better, 4 is even better. So it's PFM, IFM, and I know the exams are changing right now. We're in a transition period, but LTAM, STAM as well, STAM. So that's my original piece of advice I would give. Make sure that by the time you get to the end of your degree course, you've actually already got 2, if not 3, or if not 4 exam passes. But I say 2 is going to be an achievable goal for everyone. There's also some VEEs, or validated by educational experience classes, that I would make sure that I've passed all of them before I've actually left university. So there's the economics, accounting and finance, and mathematical statistics. They're those 3, and I would choose a school, and hopefully the school that you're at would actually cover these classes. Internships are super important as well when you're looking for a job. And when you finished your journey through school, through your degree program, to have had 2 internships is going to be great. To have had 1 longer term internship is really good. Internships don't even have to be in actuarial science. You can have an internship in data analytics. You can even have an internship in customer service, improve your soft skills. So having any internship is good. Ideally, you'd have one in actuarial science. But even if it's not in actuarial science, if it's in risk management, if it's in the things I've just mentioned, if you're customer service, where you're dealing with people, any data analytics job is going to be useful to you. Another thing I would definitely recommend it to my younger self coming through is to find a mentor. Find someone who knows about the profession. Find somebody who has been there, done that, someone that can advise you. We can make some really simple mistakes, or mistakes that would have been simply to correct or avoid if we had a mentor. And by not having a mentor and not avoiding those mistakes, would have been simple to correct, we end up spending an extra 1 or 2 years to pass the professional exams. We find it a lot harder to find a job. So there's a lot of things that we can do to actually help ourselves once we've got a mentor, help ourselves. Another great thing that I would tell myself as a student now is take classes in systems. Make sure that you know how Excel works on at least an intermediate level, and make sure that you know how VBA works. Okay, so it's connected to Excel. Everybody uses Excel. All the companies I've worked at, all the people I know, they all use Excel on a daily basis. So really know your Excel, add the VBA into that as well. And I would also recommend to actually start looking at SQL and also R. Anything you learn is going to be good. Now, even if you go to a company that has their own systems and you're not going to be using R or SQL, you would have gained enough experience in programming that you'll be able to carry over into your work life. And it's going to look great on it when you take an interview. When you learn a software language, I would also recommend that you do some sort of project with it. So you don't just say, I've got a certificate in Excel, but you say, look, I've got this certificate in Excel and certification on using one of the many professional providers of these certificates. But you can also say, look, I've actually done a project. This is the project I've done, and I've used this data and I've run results. So you show them that you can use it, because again, that's going to set you apart from the rest of the students. When it comes to those professional exams, don't treat them lightly. Professional exams can be tough, but it kind of depends on how much work you put into them. You have to be working at 100%. And when you work at 100%, you can get through the exams in a really short period of time. If you're working at 90%, it's going to be a bit hit and miss. You're going to pass one, fail another one, maybe pass one. And you're going to extend the period out that it takes you to qualify. And at some point, you're going to get bored, because you're going to feel that this is taking me too long, and I wish I qualified quite a few years ago that you could have done. So put in a lot of work, I would say 100% effort for a relatively short period of time, get the exams out of the way, and you can get on with your life, with your family life, with your career. You'll be earning great money. So why don't you enjoy it, because you're not having to bother with those exams anymore? Why don't you, that's what the recommendation I would be. Why don't you do that? So I already mentioned that internships don't have to be actuarial. Any internship is a good thing. Internships are not going to be a bad thing. Yeah, so definitely make sure that you've got the internships. And yeah, the more hard work you put in now, you're going to get the payoff later on. So work really hard now before you've got too many commitments in your life. And then as you get older, you tend to get more commitments. So if you already passed the exams, got them all out of the way, or most of them out of the way before you get all those big commitments, it's going to make it somewhat easier for you. Another tip is, before you go and ask anybody anything, when it comes to going to your professors at school, or when you're at work, go and ask your managers, do your research, know what there is to know as much as you can find out. So go there armed with knowledge, and then ask your questions, because people are going to be more receptive to you, whether it's your professor, whether it's your mentor, or whether it's somebody, your boss at work. Make sure that you're armed with as much information as you have available, that's available for you to pick up, and go there and say, I already know this stuff. You tell them, I already know this, this, and this, and now I've still got this question that I'd like to ask you. It makes you come across a lot better. But I'd also tell you, once you start work, or once you're at school, if you have any questions that you don't know the answer to, don't be afraid to go and ask them. This is one of the things that a lot of students do at school, and also newly hired actuarial trainees. They start their job and they've got a question and they're too embarrassed to ask it, and they'll sit there and stew and get really upset and really anxious, and they don't want to appear to let the side down, and they don't want to be perceived in a bad light, so they won't ask any questions, and they sit there and get stressed out. That's a definitely no. Don't do that. Your bosses, your instructors, your supervisors will be receptive if you go to them and actually say to them, I need more clarification on this point so I can actually do a good job for you. They're actually going to be happy with you, rather than you sitting there and stewing for days sometimes, not knowing how to do something, and being stressed out. And then when you finally go and see them, you get relief, because they're going to say to you most likely that, just, this is what I would like you to have done. And sometimes it happened to me where I'd go to one of my supervisors, and I'd sit and stew for a couple of days and a few hours, or however long it was. And then when I'd go to speak to them, I'd say, look, I don't quite understand what you wanted me to do at this point. I kind of got stuck at this point. And then my supervisor, one of my supervisors, would say to me, there's a really important piece of information which I forgot to tell you. So I was at a disadvantage, but sitting there and stewing for 2 days and stressing myself out was the wrong thing to do. It's always good to go to that person and found out, in my case, I would have found out straight away I didn't actually have all the information, and that's why I got stuck at that point. So I think this is really important for you. And I would I would say that if you're embarrassed in how to approach someone in this situation, a little trick, a little tip that I may put out there, and it's up to you if you want to take it or modify it, is that you can tell somebody how good a job you want to do for them and ask them to actually explain exactly how you would like them to do it so you can do exactly what it is they want to do. So you can do a great job rather than just going in and saying, oh, I've got no clue how to do this. You can actually just say, I want to do a great job and I'm stuck on this point. And can you actually show me how you'd like me to do it exactly the way you want to? So that's just trying to address some of the questions I've been getting from students over the last couple of years, and hopefully it's going to be helpful to you. This has been your host, Panos Skordi, on the Panos Skordi Encounter. Take care wherever you are.